Hello, I am the Doctor.
And I'm the Doctor.
And I'm Donna Noble.
Today we are going to be reviewing episode 4 of season 8, called...
Listen. We're actually watching it a couple days later than everyone else did because I was away for the weekend. It's blowing up on the Twitter.
Everyone says it's the best.
The Twitter likes it.
Ever.
Yeah.
They say it's like the best Doctor Who episode ever. You better live up to our expectations.
Our very high expectations.
See what you got, Moff. Alonzi!
Geronimo!
Oi, spaceman.
Welcome back, Whovians. We just finished watching episode 4 of season 8 called...
Listen.
Everybody stop for a second. Good. Hey, Kyle.
I'm a Centauran!
Maybe.
Maybe.
We had to, investigate.
That moment when Peter Capaldi jumps out of, after being knocked out, he says something about Centauran. And if you go back frame by frame like we did, it looks like a
potato.
blurry, potato face.
We're talking about the scene where the blanket comes off. There's literally nothing we know about Centaurs that would make that make sense.
No, but it does look like a centaur.
But it does look like a Centaur.
And Centauran hands really never have ever looked like hands. But the episode was really kind of cool.
Yeah. Atmospheric, scary, really sort of fun elements of, Blink and other, scary Moffat episodes.
Blink and Silence.
Yeah.
And Blink. Peter Capaldi had some amazing monologues.
He was so good.
The beginning was great.
The opening was just like,
so good.
What I kind of like is that he's becoming this scientist of sorts, where he's just essentially doing experiments.
I really like it. I love all the books that are literally all over the TARDIS.
Yeah. Though one of the things I really like is how often he's off in his own little experiment. He's so focused on that, and then Clara will ask a very basic question, and it's a pretty good point. I think
shut up, Clara. Shut up.
So this episode was written by Stephen Moffat. This one's tricky for me, guys. I'm not gonna lie. There are parts that I loved about it, and I was so excited about, and there are parts that it's what I call the Moffat problem. Awesome ideas that don't wrap up properly. It's not that I needed there to be a monster per se. I felt like what he was trying to say in the end was that it could have been, it could have not have been. We'll never know.
And it wasn't resolved.
It wasn't resolved, which is usually okay if you can leave me with that bit of doubt, but I didn't really have doubt because I literally saw something take a blanket off, have a weird alien face,
Centauran,
and then disappear behind the door where there's a slam and a burst of light.
Right.
So there's something. This episode had a lot of fun moments. I was definitely on the edge of my seat the whole time waiting. Yeah, I guess for me this one, I know it's supposed to be in the same vein as Blink and Silence, and they tried though, but it didn't have the same oomph that they're going for. Like with the hair on the back of the neck, they were trying to set it up, just like with the marks on your hands that don't blink, and they did it once and they didn't keep going with it. And I don't know, this one falls a little short for me. The episode didn't wrap up properly for me. It had too many holes in it, and this new Capaldi Doctor, specifically for me, does not seem like the kind of doctor that allows holes.
But let's talk about these cool new powers that he's getting.
What powers does he get?
Go to sleep.
Oh, yeah. His dad powers.
I love the reference to the dad powers. We know from the very beginning that he has a family. He was a grandfather. It's like we know that he had kids. Yeah. He's got children. That for me, that was always kind of a big thing. I thought when he supposedly didn't save Gallifrey. His family had to be on there somewhere.
Theoretically.
In theory, they were somewhere. Unless they'd all died,
so for the production design, the new TARDIS I actually really love. I think it's such an interesting place for them to play around with. I like that they've been using the dual levels. I like that it looks like the inside of a rib cage, which all the TARDISes do in a certain way, but there are callbacks to older TARDISes. There's sort of this nice, crisp, new look to it.
But that's also juxtaposed with the ancient the older parts of it, like chalkboard.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
No, but I love it. But it's a different technology.
Well, and I thought, one of the things that was both really cool and a little weird was, Clara sticking her hands into the TARDIS and communicating with it, which is definitely, that's a really cool thing. It's also a little creepy because I kept thinking about the TARDIS as the personified woman, and then I'm like, this is all a little squishy.
I didn't go there.
Now I am. Now I'm really.
I'm enjoying
Now I'm
it.
sad that that's what I brought up on the internet. The blanket is a nice thing because that is really scary. You don't know what's under there. There's sort of this primal childhood thing of that's a scary thing, and yeah, it could be your friend playing a trick, but it might be a monster. I will say one of my favorite moments was when Clara and Rupert are under the bed, and the whole time I was just like, somebody's gonna get on the bed, someone's gonna get on the bed, and then it happens, I'm like, oh, this is so,
Perfect. I thought it was gonna be Capaldi.
So did I. And then I love that he was behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the acting in this episode immensely. I don't want to critique any of it because it was amazing. The monologue was at the beginning was fantastic. Clara again is bringing it. The one character that still troubles me is modern day Pink. I mean, Shawn thinks it's the writing. For me, it might be the direction or something. To me, it's the goofy moments. In this one, it was the slamming of the head down on the table, which I understand.
So weirdly awkward.
I just don't get I don't get the quirk.
It's one of those things that I hope in 5 episodes I'll be like totally cool with it.
You did call something out that I agreed with you on earlier. There was a moment where they brought back the Impossible Girl.
I've been enjoying Clara so much this season because she's sort of taken on this teacher-esque role. And then in this episode, she becomes the Impossible Girl again. She's in everybody's business and every time, and she's like petting everybody's heads. And
was that supposed to be Claire underneath the bed grabbing people's ankles throughout history?
I really hope it is. I hope she just stops in people's houses, is that person. It's super creepy. It's a weird hobby.
And she tells them nice things. Hey, it's totally cool.
I have an idea. I have a theory. I have a theory. Clara looks like a Centurion to Doctor Who.
That's true.
That's why
true.
He thinks she's ugly. Centurions are ugly.
That she looks like Strax.
Yep.
That was established.
And has a wide face. Interesting.
And therefore, in 100 years, Clara turns into a Centurion. I'm not saying that right. And
now I can't say it.
Right, I'm messing so no, in 100 years, Claire turns into a Centurion and goes through all of the timelines and touches people's ankles.
So Claire becomes a dick later. Oh, dropping the screwdriver. Wow. He's out.
Who do we think the adults were when he's in the barn? I mean, it's be with the other boys. Are they caretakers? Are they his parents?
It seemed like almost like he was in an orphanage.
Yeah. Which is sad.
An orphanage like Rupert.
Yeah. They want him to be a soldier like Rupert.
And he changed his name like
Rupert.
So
the doctor is Rupert.